Hello, are you in the danger zone? Oh my gosh, I get into it every now and then. What is the danger zone? The danger zone is when you're stuck. You know you're uncomfortable, but you're kind of comfortable being uncomfortable. So human beings have this ridiculous capacity for being comfortable in a highly uncomfortable state. It's a little bit shocking to me when I work with clients and sometimes we're finally ready to get a reading. They're finally ready to like have all their blocks cleared. And I realize they admit how long they've been in pain or how long they have been in an emotional situation. So I wanted to raise that in here of like, that's not your birthright. That's not what we're here to do. We're not here to stay struggling. We are here for a life of abundance and ease. So how do we get there? And then some of you are probably like, you don't even believe me because you've never had abundance or ease. So go with me here for a second. Here's the danger zone. You are so comfortably uncomfortable, you don't take a risk. So I want you to think about this in a little bit of a different way. I know it's a risk, stepping out, stepping into anything new, even like signing up with a teacher to come more into your spiritual abilities. It's a risk. I get that. And I want to talk a little bit more about that in just a second. But think of it, what's the other side of that? The other side is, y'all, holy crap, what's the risk of not stepping out? What's the risk of not speaking your truth? What's the risk of not becoming the best version of you? You cannot serve anybody unless you are the best version of yourself. And I see so many, particularly like with empaths who really care about serving people, and then they're like, oh my gosh, I gotta shut everything down. Empaths, get yourself under control. There's so many ways to do that. Work with me. Own your gift. Own it. Because you can't help those people that you're trying to help and that you're trying to connect with until you step into the best version of you, and then you better serve them. So ask yourself, be super honest with yourself. Why are you stuck? And there's no shame in any judgment, no shame, no judgment here. Don't put that on yourself. Just go with what obstacles are in your way, and are they real obstacles? And by the way, if you guys haven't gotten my free workbook to get yourself unstuck, nab it. I'll put a link right here. But what story is going around in your head every day that is keeping you stuck or that's keeping you small? Because I'm going to push you here a little bit. Everybody can step up and get a little bit bigger. I can too. We can all step up. Here's the deal. Nobody watching this video is a normal person. I hate to tell you. Actually, I think it's everybody else who's abnormal, because it's actually very normal for us to be in contact with spirit. But nobody here is regular, or you wouldn't be watching this video. So the world is in the state it's in because there are too many highly amazing people who are not stepping up, who are not really stepping into the best version of themselves. So notice what is going on in your head. What story you're what excuses do you have? What is going on in your head? So some that I see, but I think is not an excuse, is like, well, I don't have money. I'm like, you got money. There's not that much money to start investing in yourself. There's just not. And money is energy. So look at it as an energy exchange, okay? The other thing I hear a lot is people feel undeserving. They're like, well, what if I step into my gifts? Like, who am I to do that? Who am I to like be more intuitive? Who am I to really understand and heal people? So you feel undeserving. Grief. Yeah, am I really ready to face this? Am I really ready to take all this on? What if I get overloaded? So when you work with a professional, you learn tools to answer all that stuff that you have for the rest of your life. I actually, Bobby, I'm glad you said grief, because I had a vignette here, and right before that written down, I was writing my notes for this last night. And today when I was reading, I was like, oh, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. But you know what? I'm going to go there. I lost my best friend when I was 16. He committed suicide, and it was the worst grief ever, 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 ever. There has been nothing worse since then. I know a lot of people in here have lost their children or a real close relationship, and it's nothing. It's terrible. When you start working, there's so much work. I know so many people, you've gone to the grief counseling, you've gone to therapy, you've done like everything you do, and it's still there. It is still there. So I actually, I asked God to take all my gifts away, because that was such a terrifying, spiritually, that was a very disturbing, I knew it was going to happen spiritually, and I couldn't do anything to stop it. So that was terrifying to me as a teenager and a young woman in my early 20s. So I actually got to the point so much therapy. I got to the point where I was scared, though, to get up in the middle of the night. I was scared because I was scared there was a monster in my room, and I knew there was no monster, but I felt it was that grief, and I knew it was all my crap related to my friend. And I'm just going to scroll down here so I can see your comment. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, Bobby. I'm not going to read your comment out loud right here because this video gets reposted. But oh my gosh, how do you get through that loss of a traumatic loss of a loved one? So I got to the point where there was this monster in my room, and then I was scared from that point forward to ever work on any of my spiritual abilities because I had to get through this monster. Well, that's how fear works. Fear will attach to something. It'll attach to something, and then we get small and we say scared. And the only way that I was able to work through that and actually get in honest spiritual communication with my best friend, my love, was to step into my gifts, was to totally own my gifts and my intuition. And then all of these energetic blocks just went away. They just went away, and then I could communicate with him, and now I'm communicating with him all the time. But debating whether to give you all this or not say this. So if this is going to disturb you, put the video on mute right now for a minute for about 15 seconds. But the monster, the way that my monster was showing himself was my love's body and the way he looked after he passed. And I've had a lot of people share that same thing with me, that they can't get over that last image in their head. And that's the way that monster kept appearing. And I knew through counseling, I knew through everything, that was just an image and my grief that I was stuck with. The only way I got through that and could see and communicate with his beautiful soul is to get into my gifts. And that required a lot of stepping up. But now it's beautiful. Now it's amazing. This work is life-changing, and it is life-changing in terms of when you are in your abilities and you're really heightened, you know you can make better decisions about your health. You can make better decisions about your family. You make better decisions about your money. You make better decisions about your relationships, your work, everything. And there is this constant abundance coming in. So I can't, like, you guys, if you're watching this, you're not regular, you're not normal. I believe we have a duty to actually step up. We have a duty to the rest of the world. We have to be the best version of ourselves. You know, there's that saying, I can teach you I can give you a fish, which is what I'm doing in this Facebook group, or I can teach you to fish so you can spread the ripple effect throughout. So that's what I do when you work with me one-on-one. Here is what I want to tell you about next. Here's how you can work with me. You can always private message me for a one-on-one session. I'll give you the link. But the best way is, right now, the most affordable, valuable way is my online course. So it's only $197 until February 15th. And on February 15th, it goes up to $297. The other thing I have coming is a group read, a very special group spirit guide reading. So that's going to be on February 18th at noon Eastern time. So come with a question. It's limited to it's a limited small group. It's only $20. So step in, grab your spot with that, and let's get like a reading that way. Or you guys hear that? It's a huge alarm outside. Okay, hopefully it's gone now. Whew. Okay, let's get out of the danger zone. When you're ready, actually, I'm not going to wait till when you're ready because you can stay in the danger zone forever. So I want to push you out of the danger zone right now. Get my workbook, start working through it, and also start asking yourself, what story are you using to stay small? What are the obstacles in your way, and how are you going to work through them to step up into the best version of yourself? So by doing that, we can change the planet, because the planet's in the condition it's in right now because too many people are choosing not to take a little tiny personal risk and step up. All right, I love you guys. Bye.